Guys, 2 weeks ago, we talked about being happy and single. Well, it being close to Valentine's Day, I had to go to the polar opposite side of things. I want to talk about today being happy in marriage. So much divorce going on, so many people giving up. Well, guess what, guys? I got a couple that's been married 11 years. I got a couple that's been married 16 years. Man, I even got a couple that's been married almost 30 years. Are you ready to have a good time on this show today? I brought the backup as always. Mentorship Moments, each one teach one. We're the village. Let's go.
Sometimes you just gotta make it happen. Gonna make it happen. Gonna make it happen. Just make it happen. Just make it happen. Just make it happen.
Look here. I want to give a very special love shout out to my wife, Eva Joseph, for two reasons. Because she's here in the studio today and she just didn't want to be on camera today. But I want to make sure I acknowledge her for this Valentine's Day love show. I'm dressed in white. I'm dressed my best. She made sure I had lotion on my knees and elbows. All right. And I thank her for that. Anyway, I'm going to show you a little hip hop picture of us back in the day. Yeah. Today we're talking about like the healthy path to marriage. I know there are couples that are out there struggling, and don't know how to get through that grit and grind, as I'm learning in school, to get to that promised land. And it's a continuous journey. It's never an ending thing if you want to stick with it. So I brought hope. I brought some couples that I really admire to accentuate what love really is. It's not running around in your birthday suits every day as I thought it was when I was 13. It's a journey. It's a process. It's yelling and still holding hands. It's respecting each other and still being loving. It's not making sure you're not going to bed upset. Well, I could talk about that, but I love to go with stats. I love to go with stats. So let's just read if this is real. Now, I went to the CDC website just for these numbers. The Center for Disease Control 2018, we had 132,853 marriages at a rate of 6.5 per 1,000, right? But let's talk about the divorce. This is what's crazy, right? Or seems to be the norm nowadays. The number of divorces was 782,038. That's 2.0 per 1,000. Those numbers are actually staggering. People are giving up, and we don't want them to do that. Now, before I get started and introduce my guest, I have to give out these shout outs. I want to give a very special shout out to Miss Tammy Mack, two-time NAACP award winner, the actress in Bag Lady. She's very famous. You know her as a radio personality here in Los Angeles, and just doing her thing on Fox with the Tammy Mack Show. My buddy, my super bud, John P. Whoop. This show's for you because you're getting close. You're getting ready to jump the room very soon. I don't think he knows what jumping the room is, but I'll explain it to him later. Man, marriage is a special thing, and I hope this inspires you and Helen. God bless you guys. Happy birthday, big bro, man. Love you, man. Nancy Avalor Blanco had a birthday recently, and shouts out to her husband, Carlos. They got married a couple of years ago. I love that story. Now, beat down birthdays that I forgot. Dion and Xavier Joseph and Jordan Joseph, love you guys. Oh my God, awesome. And my niece Troya, happy birthday to you guys. And happy marriage day to some very special couples. Sheila and Brian Butler and Dion and Tashi Joseph. Incredible marriages. You guys will meet them later in the future, man. But there's some new faces, some new kids on the block I want to introduce you to, and we're going to introduce you to them by name. Let's start with our guest in studio. Well, before I even do that, guys, I have a little surprise for you. The urban spinster, the single lifestyle expert, Sadie Sanders, did such a Swiss bang job. Swiss bang, that just tells you my age, right? That I have to bring her on as a reoccurring guest when we talk about these issues because she's healthy and single. Now, she's not opposed to marriage, and I know she's looking, but we can talk about other things. Introducing our guest co-host today, Miss Sadia Sanders. Say what's up, Sadia. What's up? Oh, we got to get you off mute.
There we go.
Oh, so what's up? Are you ready for today?
I'm ready. Thank you for having me back.
Oh, man. We'll be seeing you more often, man. I love how you operate. I love how you show that being healthy and single is a positive thing and not a negative thing. I want you to continue to inspire, but be inspired today too. You ready to help me out today?
I'm ready.
All right,
Let's
I got
go.
some couples for you. All right, so introducing our first couple. I've been knowing this young lady for years.
Yes.
What I love about in my book, Navigating Through the Valleys of Success, I talk about prayer warriors, and she has been one of those prayer warriors. Not only just a client, and I've discovered she does social work. She's an incredible human being, mentoring kids. But one thing I love is her path to marriage, and we're going to talk about the path. And she literally drug her husband in here by force. Now, listen, husbands, guys, I want you guys to blink twice, right? If there's a problem, all right? And I'll have Eva or the cats in the studio help out, man. So I want to introduce to you a good friend of mine, and I love their path to marriage. We're going to talk about different paths to a happy marriage. Yvonne and Dion Goring, what's up? How you doing, man?
What's up?
What's up?
Turn all the way up.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right, okay.
go.
Okay, let's go. Dion, are you ready? Are you like,
I'm ready.
are you ready? Blink twice,
following
right?
your lead.
And then we have our second couple, and they'll be joining us via Zoom. These have been friends of ours for years. Now, they've been married 28 and a half years, and their story is just very sweet. I call them teacher. I call the wife the teacher activist. Anatole is just a steady and strong husband. Ebony and Anatole Baptiste. What's up, guys? Say what's up to the fam. All right, ready to get down and dirty?
Yeah.
Let me blink twice.
All right, okay. You already. I saw you, man. You're already blinking. All right, just let me know if you need help, guys. All right, don't get yourselves in trouble tonight. It's about positive marriages. My wife is looking at me like, oh my God, we gonna get through this
Come on, Eva.
because we gotta help my birthday buddy John Wolf. He's about to get married. We want to keep it positive, right? All right, so let's just start out, and we have one more special guest coming through, man. I can't wait. Aquila Regina, man, incredible couple. First of all, let's look at your Let's look at your wedding photos. That's always cute. Let's check out Yvonne and look at that.
Hey,
And let's look at the out in them streets photos, man. Let's just take a look at it. Like, oh, look at that.
Yeah,
you
know,
see,
thug life.
Yvonne was thug life
Yeah.
before she met the
Gotta
Lord.
keep
You
it
know.
real balance, Yeah.
And we're gonna
Hey,
show
that
it.
was recently.
That was recently,
You know what I'm
and in the streets,
Hey.
we're gonna show Ebony
Hey.
and Anatole in just a second. But I want to start with you guys. Okay, I want you to share how you guys met. It's a very interesting story, but but people have different ways of meeting and getting to a happy marriage. You guys are very, very strong in faith, and just reading some of and talking to you guys as to how you conduct yourself before marriage. I want you to tell us about that because my path was different. I sinned a little bit before we got married.
Hey.
I sampled the goods a little bit. It's okay. But we're all right. By the grace of God, I prayed every day to forgive us. And now,
Hallelujah.
23 years, hallelujah, we good. All right, we sampled the mix, right? But I want to talk about how you guys got started. First of all, let's talk about how you guys met.
Okay. So I want to clarify because I sinned a lot.
Yeah,
like before marriage,
okay.
I
Thank you.
let me just clarify.
I feel so good. I'm not the only one.
just saying.
But let's talk about it.
That's
People wanna
part of my
know.
journey now.
Yes. So let's talk about it.
Had a lot of insecurity from my childhood. So didn't grow up with my dad, sexual abuse, and there's just a lot of
Yes.
different things of where it kind of like stunted my value. Like I didn't know my value. And so I got into a lot of different things in my teen years. Like I just turned to different things, whether it was men, herbs, just whatever it was for me. And so I went on a journey and I was like really seeking God because I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. Like if this is what life's about, I can't do it anymore. You know what I'm saying? My value was depreciated. I was in relationships with men who clearly didn't care about me because I didn't care about myself. So I didn't have standards. I didn't have morals. And, so I just went through a lot of different cycles, sex before marriage several times, before the age of 19. I'm like, well, I can at least still count it on my hands.
Right.
That was my theory. And so I just was in a real dark place. And so I was just really searching, and God sent his word to me. And in that time, like he opened up my heart. He opened up my understanding. He showed me my value through his word. And I learned to make him my husband. There's a scripture that says, the Lord thy maker is your husband. And I had never been faithful to God. I didn't even know it was possible to be faithful to God. I never saw anybody who actually like didn't have sex before marriage. I was like, please, who can do that? I don't want to do that. What? Turn up. Like up in the club. Like,
Right.
But it's like my heart, like I wanted that as a kid. I always wanted to be like a little princess swept up by her prince, but it's like in my life, like I didn't really think that was possible, but God came and he showed me it was possible because he swept me up. He swept me in a dark place, a place where nobody could have taken me from but him. And so
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so studied the Bible. May 31st of 98 at 9:13 p.m. got baptized, and so started
the
new.
time.
Time was my birthday.
Won't he do it?
Yes, birthday. So so he swept me up, and in that time, I learned how to be faithful to God first. I learned why He had those rules for me. It's because He loves me. The times that I broke them, it wasn't healthy for me. It depreciated me, and it still has an effect on me now. The times that I didn't wait, I'm just going to keep it real.
We've had many a conversation, and that's why I got you here.
Yes.
I got nothing but real people
Yes.
for you guys to meet. Now, I'm going to stop in time.
Okay.
Now, at that time,
Yes.
was you running the streets? What was you doing, Dion?
No.
What was you up to?
Very similar story. She has her story down packed.
Yes.
Well, I eventually studied the Bible too, and I basically, I had sex before marriage, stuff like that. Like when you go to church, I went to the Baptist church, and you kind of know not to do that, but you jump into it. But when we came, the church we went to, we just, decided to follow the Bible and decided to do it like, like a boy and a girl, like two little boys and a girl. So in our relationship, according to the scriptures, we decided not to have premarital sex.
I like the word where you guys took power in that. You guys said you decided to.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to freeze frame right there because I want to go to Ebony and Anatole because we know them. You guys are like who we look to, in a marriage, man. I mean, you guys are so perfect, aren't you? Why don't you share with us?
No,
Please.
no, not again.
I'm like, please.
I love it. Somebody needs to hear this. Go ahead.
not
Go
gonna
ahead.
say-
Go ahead and tell us your story.
Huh?
Tell us how you guys met
Oh.
and your journey.
Oh. Well, we were at church, and you want to tell the story?
No, go ahead.
We had our church was having their annual barbecue, and so we were playing a game at the church barbecue where you had to partner up with someone. And so by the time I looked up, everyone was partnered up. I looked at him, he looked at me, and we said, okay, let's partner up. And we started playing. It was called the tomato necking game, where you had to put a tomato between your neck and pass it to the other person.
Oh.
And the rules were we weren't supposed to touch each other. But the story is that I supposedly grabbed him
Don't sit up there. Don't stop lying.
because I wanted to win.
She's hyper competitive. So we're playing this game, and we're trying to pass the tomato. Then all of a sudden she's grabbed me, and then we get disqualified.
We got disqualified. They were like, "Nah, you were touching each other."
It worked out.
Aw. So Anatole, is that about right? Did she just fall head over heel for you, Mr. Stud?
You know what? No. Well, did you?
Hey.
Okay, well, I'm still here, so I'm still here. I think we did okay.
That's right.
Well, let's talk about.
But you know something?
Go ahead.
I was going to say that when I left that barbecue with my family and I went one way, he went with his family and they went their way after the barbecue was over. I remember looking at my cousin and saying to her, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to marry that guy, but he seems like a nice guy that would make a really nice friend. And so if nothing else, I feel like I could see him as a really good friend.
So she friends on me already.
Oh, you got friends on, bro. You had to earn that. Well, let me ask you this, Ebony, real quick, and you, Anatole, so give me a good minute each of what life was like before you guys connected. What were y'all about? People need to hear this.
Before we got together,
Yep.
let's see.
When you think about it, I'll go. Well, at the time I was in the military. I was in the Marine Corps. I had done a tour. I've been to Japan, been to Korea. Been kind of some of the around the world a little bit. I had gone through and I was served in the Persian Gulf conflict. And I joined the church before going there, and I spent a lot of time trying to get myself right, quote unquote. After I got back from the Persian Gulf, I came back, and then I was at a point in my life where I was looking for something different. I had, I was a little bit older when I went into the Marine Corps. I went in when I was 20. So I had, done a lot of things, and I was looking, to settle down, and wasn't sure if I wanted to make that a career or move on for that. But I know that, what I had found at our church, was comforting to me, and I wanted to continue to live my life right.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking for a relationship to move forward with. And, that's when I actually met Ebony.
But one thing I want to say quickly is I was dating someone else. And I was in a long-lasting relationship for about 2.5 years. But it was an abusive relationship. And I didn't see it at the time. But there was enough warning signs where the gentleman and we separated. And during that separation, he said, let's separate for 30 days. And then we will come back and revisit our relationship and see if it's something we want to continue.
Dang.
I spoke to a family friend, and you always need a family friend to give you that ear, to give you that advice and that wisdom. And the family friend said, hey, technically you guys are broken up. So just understand that, deal with it. And it hurt every single day, but little by little, it lightened up. And then God showed me him.
Want to do it?
And I said, you know what? If God is saying you don't have to be in an abusive relationship, you don't have to settle, you don't have to have someone make you feel less than what you are. God can send.
Wow.
And so I found it, and we've never looked back, because I think we got engaged like in 3 months. And so it was real quick.
Dang, so the knight in shining armor.
Down.
Wow. Clap. No, I love it. I love it.
Down,
Hey,
man.
listen, if you guys want to call in, we're going to get that number for you guys to call in. I don't have it on screen right now. 323, let me see, I have it by member, 812-4204. It's not up there. It's not there. We'll get the number up on the screen if you guys want to call, and I'll get that for you as soon as possible, because this is pretty good. If you want advice, I've got the experts here. Now, before we continue, because now we're going to talk about how they decided that they were the one. Yes, 323-815-4204. My ginkgo biloba is working. I missed about one number. You want to call in, 323-815-4204. Hey, I got the answers right here. I got it right here. Let's go on a commercial break. Yes, from our sponsor, CJ's Functional Fitness. Yeah.
Let's go.
In life, we all have opponents to prepare for. But you don't have to be a fighting champion to defeat your current condition. You don't need to be the ultimate anything to tap out the stressors in life. But what if I told you that mastering your physical well-being, like a fighter, directly relates to mastering the obstacles in your daily life? The only challenger that awaits you is yourself. Do you accept your challenge? I'm CJ, and this is CJ's Functional Fitness, where you don't have to be a fighter to feel like one. So let's train.
Oh, welcome back. Hey, Sadia, man, what do you think so far? I mean, I know you're the single expert, the healthy, happy single expert.
Well, I had a few questions. So for Mr. and Mrs. Batiste, when you met and Ebony kind of friend zoned, and told originally you were already in that other relationship that you wound up ending because it was abusive, correct?
Well, me, yes.
Mm-hmm. So were you starting to see your now husband as a potential suitor during that time, or you were just kind of like, nah, let me, continue with the relationship I'm already
in? Well, I started realizing that relationship that I had was not for me. It was bad. It was one of those things where, oh, I don't like the way your hair is combed, so unless you change your hair, we're not going out.
That's abusive.
It was, oh, you didn't call me today, So let me give you a phone so that you can always call me so you don't have an excuse not to call me every day. So, talking with other people when you're young and you're young, you don't know what love is supposed to be, what love is not supposed to be. So I'm thinking, hey, I have a boyfriend, so that means something. And but that wasn't what love is, and I learned that um, God does not want you to be hurt, because God is love and love should not hurt because God doesn't hurt. So
Ooh.
I had to learn that lesson. So in that 30 days, I would say it took about 8 to 10 days. And then I was like, okay, yeah, this break
Amen.
taught me that I need a permanent break. And that's when I started hanging out with friends and my cousins and going places and going to baby showers and going to the church barbecue. And that's why I was saying, hey, this is a really nice guy. I could really see me being able to share my secrets with him and have a deep relationship with him, even if maybe he doesn't want to go somewhere else with the relationship. I know for myself that I could see him being a really nice friend.
So
He
the
was
friend.
really
So
a nice guy. So what happened, and I think I can see where you're alluding to, I had to tell myself when when we were talking about getting married and we were discussing it, I had to say to myself, if it was just he and I alone, not with the friends, not with the people from church, not with our relatives, but if it was just us and he and I had to go move somewhere far away and live alone, or even if we were homeless on the street, next to a trash can, would I be happy with just him? And that took about 2 months to get to that point where I felt if it was just he and I, and that's all we had with God, because we looked for God first and got each other, then that's all we needed.
I'm loving that. And Anatole, I want to see get through your side of the perspective. I'm going to jump to Yvonne and Dion real quick. So we had these struggles, and now we both found the Lord in a new, enlightened way.
Yes.
So when did the kaboom hit between you two? What happened?
So like 7 years into the Lord, like I was at a church service. I'm from Oakland. I'm from the Bay.
Right.
What's up to the Bay?
MC Hammer.
Yeah. Shout out. So I was at a church service, just a little background on how we met, like the first time. And I was like, after there was like a baptism, and I felt some heat on my neck. I'm like, dang. And I look across the way, and I see someone staring at me, like, just straight up, like,
dang.
I was like, oh.
That's like,
and like he was West Coasted. I was like, dang, okay.
Like Whitney and Bobby.
So I kept on with my conversation. He made his way over. He's like, hey, what's up, girl? You know how you doing?
Like
you know what I'm saying? What's up?
I was
you
never
married?
that smooth.
No. He grabbed my hand. He's like, what's up, girl? You married? And I had a ring. I was like, to
You
the
was
Lord.
gangsta?
Yes.
Where was this
I was
again?
like, to
Where
the
were you?
Lord, yes. And like her, I was dating too. I was dating someone else when I first met him. You know, it was a wonderful experience, you know. But after that situation, I had a breakup. And in that time of the breakup, I was in a dark place again. I had a closet prayer, and I was like, Lord, look, I need you to show me like what you want from me. I said, because if you don't show me, like I'm going to take matters in my own hands. I'm hurt. I'm angry. I don't even know if you ever have anyone for me to marry. Wow. I'm like, I'm tired. I'm sick of feeling sick and tired. I was like, if you don't come through, Lord, I'm going to take matters in my own hands. I know me. Amen. And so after that prayer, I kid you not, after that prayer, it was a Thursday night. I prayed that, and something inside me said, go to LA for the weekend. So I was like, So I hit my girl up. I was like, what's up, girl? Let's just go to LA for the weekend. Let's just get away. She was like, girl, me and such are already gone. We got the rental car. We're already packed. What? So I was like, so we roll, and then I heard this song, God Send Me an Angel, on the song, and we kept replaying it back and forth, and it was like, I feel like God was speaking to me. And long story short, there was one of the homies had a party, and I met him there. And when I saw him and I talked to him, it was like, whoa. The second time. Okay, yeah. So after my prayer, my interaction with God, him coming through, go to LA for the weekend, I met him in a party, and it's something inside me said, like, I knew I should go there, like it was something. Saw him. And when I saw him and I was talking outside, I prayed a specific prayer to God before I met him. I was like, God, I pray he'd have a heart like David, convictions like Paul. He'd be tall. You know, I said we can pass for brother and sister. He'd have a heart for people that's out of this world, that his heart for you would be just crazy like none other.
Yeah.
And then when I was talking to him, he was talking how he was crying out to God that day. And I'd never seen a man so in touch with their emotions. And it reminded me of David. And it reminded me like of everything I prayed. And something inside me said, this is the man you're going to marry. And I'm emotional, as you could see. But I was like, that's never happened. I was like, whoa. And it's like said that, and it's like I had a connection with him and I didn't want to be apart. Like I felt like he saw me like my little child, and I felt like when I glared in his eyes he could really see me. And that was the moment, besides one of the dates I went on, I was like, God, if this is the one you have for me, that I'm gonna give my heart, I pray that you'd shine a shooting star. Boom. Wow. God, if you shine one more, I won't even ask any questions. Boom.
So he was the bad boy with feelings. I like that. All right. So Dion.
Yeah.
Kaboom. When did Kaboom happen for you? And then Anatole, you're up next, bro.
Right. Well, I mean, she told the story very well. I'll just take where she was. So we met at this party. It was the second night, because the first time we met, she was dating, and then I forgot about it.
Like,
right. And one of my buddies was like, "Hey, man, there's this sister, man. She asking about you." And then I was like, "Who is that?" She was like, "Man, yeah, she looked." So I was like, "Okay," I didn't know who it was. So we met at the party, and honestly, like she was saying, it was like a spiritual experience. It's almost like a cloud enveloped us, and it was almost like it was just me and her in a room, like those movies. And it was just me and her. It was a party. It was DJ. You know, it was dark. It was strobe lights.
Isn't love always like that?
Oh yeah,
oh
yeah,
my God,
yes. It was great. So we had this connection, and like, yeah, I don't know. We just locked in. It was just something. And from there on, and she told me that the guy said this is the one. I was like, huh? Because it was surreal.
You know.
Yes. It was heavy.
Anatole, Marine, hardcore, out there traveling all over the world. And then you got reeled in. How did it happen for you, bro? Then we're going to get real. All right?
Let's go.
You know what? We were, I mean, I didn't know what was going on in her life at the time, in that relationship situation that she was in. But I know for me, I had spent, many months, trying to, work on myself and trying to live right. So because, prior to, my getting involved with my church, I mean, I was out there like everybody else, but I was just doing all around the world. But, when
That's real.
I know what you're talking about, bro.
when I got focused and when I started praying to God for, something more in my life, for something, for my future, he started moving things around. He's moving things around in my life. He was moving things around in her life, obviously. But, after our interaction at the church barbecue, there was a couple more times I'd see her at church. She gave me some doggone macaroni and cheese at the church one day, and I'm like, "Oh, Jesus, this is the one right here." Wow. But I was talking
macaroni,
to my mom.
that's it? Is that all it
man, you don't know. But I was talking to my mom one day, just kind of letting her know, what I'm looking for and what I'm trying to do with my future. Because at this point, I've only got like another year and a half left in the Marine Corps, or I hadn't decided if I was going to stay in or move on to something else. But I was telling her that I had been praying to God for, someone for me to get in a real relationship with, real spiritual, have a spiritual connection with. And my mom just, flat out told me, and she, it was odd because I wasn't asking her for advice or anything like that, but she said, you need to be talking to that girl at the church. And wow. She had heard me talking about her before, but I think she had seen her once or twice when she came to visit the church. But, once, because I had asked God about it. I mean, I was praying about it because, there was a few young ladies that I was talking to, and, we'd set up plans, and then, God would just, move stuff and she not call back or she not show up or something like that. And I'm like, well, God, I'm just going to put it in your hands. And I just left it at that. And then that's when I had that conversation with my mom. And once my mom, said that to me, I'm like, okay, all right, I see God's got a sense of humor. So I'm going to go ahead and roll with it and just take myself out the way and let it go. And, 28 and a half years later, here we are.
Sadi, what do you think of this, Miss Single Healthy?
I'm hearing a lot of moonbeams and stars and You know, it was kablow and it was a movie and it's Disney and all this kind of stuff, but it can't be a fantasy all the time.
Right.
So when things come up in your marriage that maybe you didn't expect, or those things that you feel like, well, I didn't sign up for this, how do you handle that?
Well, let's start with the 11-year married couple. I mean, I know let's skip the wedding day because we can talk all day about how glorious it was and how good the chicken tasted and the extra macaroni and cheese tasted, right? And all that. But you know what? Let's fast forward. Or y'all met, y'all had y'all kablow moment. Me and my wife, we had a kablow moment, right? I'm sure other couples. But let's talk about that first, that we call it the 5-year itch.
Right.
What happens when it gets hard? Can you share what that's like and how you guys overcame that hill?
Okay, well, I want to clarify one thing because it wasn't peaches and cream. So after I met him and it was all stars and dandy, I did let him know that I was still in love with my ex, and he let me know that he's not trying to be my friend, so I need to figure it out and let him know. So the realness came in after that. I just was giving the light story, so thank you.
She was hung between the cliff.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is real, y'all.
And then we dated, and he broke up with me a year and 4 months in, and asked me after he broke up with me what song I wanted to listen to on the radio, because he became my God. He became every man that's ever hurt me. My emotions were just attacking him. He couldn't take it. He said, my mom's never even talked to me like that. You're not going to talk to me like that. So I had a lot of insecurities that I was going through where he even broke up with me, and it was only God that brought us back together. So we dated those 5 years. And so I just have to say this. And so when we got married, it was a lot. And he watched the one movie with the married couple. What was that movie?
I watched the movie The Notebook.
The Notebook.
And I just believe, like, God, I'm a pretty sensitive dude, honestly.
I am too. Don't let these muscles fool you.
Yeah, so I watched that movie, and I just felt like, you know, in The Notebook, when he kept on reading the story to her, remembering where their love is at, I just feel like God wanted me to kind of just remind her, like, where our love is at, because we had this connection. So when we go through those times, I just feel like God wanted me to be the person to kind of put the love out, put that line out, to be, you know, be humble, because I know she has a different background than me. So I just, yeah.
That's weird, because in my relationship with Eva, I felt like early on when I had a lustful energy, I was the one that was all I'd be the first to make up. Now that I'm almost 50, I'm like I've become full of estrogen. You know, but I have to remember when watching you guys, hey, I can pull that back out at any moment. Love you, babe, but she's up here looking at me like I'm crazy. Don't look at me like I'm crazy.
Hey, sometimes it swings.
Yes. So I'm going to move to Anatole, Ebony, because I want them to answer the same question.
Okay.
But here's my assessment. You are and I don't mean this in a negative way, because you're a beast in the gym. So when I say this,
let's go.
you were like a unchained beast. So for you to marry a guy that's willing to take all that emotional baggage, it takes a lot of trust to allow somebody in a marriage to like pour all your secrets in and change around with. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, he's a humble, like, one thing I like about him, because God knows what we need, though. He's not a kind of man that, like, tells me what to do. He leads by his life, like his walk, like with the Lord, everything. Like, I live with this man. He practices literally what he preaches, and he really, really, I've never met anyone like him on this earth. Right. So I think God knows what we need, and so being married to him and just watching his example, and I mean, God was still working on me too. He tamed the beast. But it's like, it had to be a patient man. Like I said, like with trauma from sexual abuse, that's a whole nother beast. Wow. I mean, my stepdad molested me when I was 4. And it's just a whole situation where I wasn't protected.
I got to have you on another, because I want to talk about that. For what you do. But yes, it was a lot. I can feel it. It's a lot.
Yes, but
yes. He's looking at his holding his hand.
But it's all like, yes.
Ooh, yes. Tyler Perry ain't got nothing on me. No, I'm just playing. Hey, and we're gonna talk. Ebony and Anatole, we're gonna talk about the humps in your relationship, because I want to keep it real for people that are aspiring to get married. This is a real journey. You know, see if Eva will allow me to share some stories when we come back. But here's another commercial break from CJ's Functional Fitness.
Amen. Dope.
Not every day I have the power to fight, but my body needs me. My opponent is high blood pressure. You don't have to be a fighter to feel like one, so let's train.
So, Sadia, I have a question for you, Miss Urban Spinster. You know, the single healthy lifestyle. Do you think Ebony and Anatole is representing perfection? What do you think? What do you think?
I don't think anyone represents perfection, which is why I asked that question, because I know a lot of married couples, and there's usually at some point where there's what Pastor Donald Bell, he used to be the singles pastor at Faithful Central. You plan for maybe things 1 through 10, but you don't plan for 11, 12, or 13. So when those things arise, you have to choose every day to still be faithful to your spouse, be respectful, and work through those issues, because there are going to be some things that you had no idea would come up, whether it be illness of a spouse, or in-laws that have to move in, or a kid you didn't know about, from the past, a past girlfriend with the guys. It's like, oh, you got a 16-year-old, I'm here. I want some college tuition or a place to stay.
The
So
baggage, yeah.
how you deal with those issues really is a testament to the faith you have in God and in each other.
Well, we got a phone call. Man, the phone lines are like a last couple episodes, man. Urban Spencer, you killing it. All right, we got a caller, man. Let her rip.
Hey, this question is for the Gordons. Hi, I'm calling from the Blanco household. Hey. So, my question, well, it's more of a statement. I've come across a lot of engaged couples, and the first thing that I like to point out is not only are you making this commitment towards the person that you're going to marry, but this commitment is with God. So can you guys elaborate on that? Because I think we live in a time where just the sanction of marriage is not respected anymore. Yes. So you guys seem to be faith-based. So what can you tell someone that's engaged, or anyone who's upcoming wedding? What do you have to say about putting God first and in the mix?
Awesome. Ben, thank you so much for the call. We're going to have them answer real quick, and then we're going to go right to Anatole. Go ahead, Yvonne. Let her rip. Or Dion.
Yeah, I just want to start real quick, and Yvonne. Well, I just know the marriage is the first covenant that God made with human beings. And a lot of those, historically, that's, kind of lost in our, time, a lot of distractions. But like Yvonne was saying, there's a scripture that talks about Yahweh, your maker, is your husband. So it's first to him, and then the second to her. It's always first to him, to her, my kids, and then the rest of everybody.
Yes, and I just want to say out there to any young women listening to me, and do not know your value, and you don't think that you can be in a relationship where there can be someone who's faithful to you, somebody who can see you. Just know, like, if you really seek God through the tears and the pain and the suffering, and you cry and you keep it real with him, like 100%, he will hear you, and it's worth it. God answered my prayer, and because I learned to be faithful to him those 7 years, dated him 5 years, we never kissed, we never had sex. The first day was our wedding day, and we had our first kiss on our wedding day. That's only God, because before God, that's never happened. Wow, and let me say, some people say when you marry, it's the honeymoon phase, and then you're going to have issues. Let me tell you, in 11 years in being married, we've only had 2 arguments. I'm kidding you not. I love that. I tell this man everything. I tell him my secrets. We tell each other when we have insecurities, had lustful thoughts towards this person, that person. But like, God really honors it. Just know that he's the same God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's the same God that split the Red Sea. He hears you. And if you take that time to put him first, he will reward you, because we don't go to the grave with each other. We go to the grave before him. And people say it's a 50-50, we make a whole, it's 100-100, come 100-100, and God will reward that.
Wow. Ebony and Anatole, bumps in the road and where God plays in your marriage. People need to hear this. This is really good. I'm ready to do marriage.
Well, what I wanted to say was that, when we started talking about marriage, we went to a marriage counseling at our church with our pastor, and he shared some situations with us, and what if this happens, and what if that happens? So we had to stop and really think, like, how are we going to do this if these bumps do come up? So, but we had the idea that we wanted to be married. We wanted to have a family. And I believe that when you get married, you're really marrying potential. You're marrying what you hope your spouse is going to be,
Amen.
because you never really know. And so you just got to hope that with your faith in God and your love for each other, that will be enough to get you through. And if God is in it, it should be. Some couples need to know that not everything is a deal breaker. That, oh, they do this, so that's it, or they have this habit, that's it. Not everything is a let's get a divorce situation. But we've been fortunate not to have. I mean, there was one time where I was like, if we weren't married, I would break up with you.
Ooh.
But you know,
It's
we're
real.
married, so
It's
you
real.
can't. So, and let me share this. And I found this with a lot of women after they have a child. And that's why I think it's kind of important that if you're going to have a child with somebody, that you are, I'm not saying you have to be married, because today couples don't do that. They just have a child and live their life. But like I said, after I had my son and you have all your hormones and you think your child is, you know, you want to protect your child, it's like, forget you. I gave birth to this child. I didn't give birth to you.
Wow.
And there were some moments where I felt like if we weren't married, I would just take my child and go. And that happens sometimes in relationships. But that marriage, you know, can hold you together until you realize and come back to yourself that, you just realize that, okay, I'm overreacting. That was my hormones or what have you. But I find that a lot of times right after or even during pregnancy, if you don't have something strong enough to keep you together, that could really be an issue.
Well,
But my husband, he's really nice and kind, and I love him. And we don't argue. He never gets mad with me, ever.
For what?
Never gets mad. He always says, happy wife, happy life.
Right. For what?
Amen.
Well,
Really?
I'm always the one.
And if I can jump in just for a second.
okay.
You know, there's going to be, as my pastor likes to say, some moments of intense fellowship in your marriage. But you have to understand that, anything worth having is worth working for.
Yes.
And you want to work, on your marriage. You want to constantly, make sure that you're looking out, because Ebony makes up or fills in where I may be lacking, or I may feel in where she's lacking. We complement one another. We're a team, and that's the way that we want it to be. So you don't see Anatole without Ebony or Ebony without Anatole, but there was moments when after she's talking about the emotional stuff when she was pregnant. There was times when I was like, when she was pregnant with our daughter.
Like,
I swear to God, she was chewing me out for something. I don't know what it was. I could have swore I saw her head spin through a 360, and I'm sitting there looking at her. I'm like, I don't know who you are, but you bring my wife back here so I can talk to her. And just she's talking about she was upset. Oh my God, man, I was like, I almost threw it in.
Next question.
Well, I like that. I like. Well, let me.
This question goes out to the Gordons, Mr. Gordon in particular. Mr. Gordon, have you seen Mrs. Gordon work out? I mean, I'm just curious.
Well, you know who my trainers are, Nancy and CJ. I'm just saying.
You know what? I've seen the results, so thank you, Nancy J. You are keeping my wife looking stellar, and I have seen some videos. She showed me some videos, so thank you so much.
Man,
y'all are awesome.
And Nancy, thank you
Yvonne is praying.
Love you guys. I miss you guys.
Love you. Thank you so much. Great job, guys. You guys are killing it. Hey, now these guys both had God in the center of the relationship, but every relationship is different. I too am married. Now, I love what Anatole said about being when that first child came in. I'm just gonna be honest. I was a jerk. All right. I had dreams and aspirations, and we married young. And it took me, and I thought biblically, like marriage was like, I watched my mom be subservient to my dad, a willing subservient. And I was groomed into that. I was not used to, I prayed for an independent woman.
Right.
but I don't think I was ready for an independent woman. You know what I'm saying? It's like, CJ is real, y'all. We real. We're real people. Just somebody's taking notes right here.
Yeah.
And one thing I didn't understand in both pregnancies that postpartum is real. It does have women's head spinning, and I know in my mind I thought I was there, but I wasn't there enough. And I talked about it on a Mike and Donnie show about God spanking you back to His will. We threw out we're keeping it real. We threw out the D word a couple of times in our marriage, and we could have just dropped it right there. But grace of God and maturity, and just accepting that I got to be the man and not just a domineering man. We're on equal playing fields, but at the end of the day, just what brings me up just a little bit in my mind is that at the end of the day, I got to lay down my life when I have to for all you guys, But at the same time, I had to discover that this is a partnership, and the second I discovered that we are two different people, we're not to be just making love all day, run around. It doesn't happen like that, guys. I thought that's what it was, Let go of the dreams that didn't make sense to get back, and now I feel like I have that now. We fuss, we fight, guys. It's going to happen. But at the end of the day, when it goes down, when the loving goes down, it's a beautiful thing because you have that connection. Now I'll take all fault. Eva's perfect. but as soon as I accepted where I need to build and grow. My marriage has been what it's supposed to be, and I take all in it. I love my woman. I've loved her since day one, first day, 1990s, first Tuesday, 8:30 in the morning at Cal State Long Beach.
Yes.
But I had a lot of. She's smiling, right? Because she remember that. But she knows I had a lot of growing. I'm sure she did too. We both had our things, but at the end of the day, men. I think we're the first to give up because it's just we have outward hormones. It's like, but man, when God gets a hold of your maturity, there's nothing like it, man. There's nothing. So I had to put my little thoughts in there. All right, we're gonna go to one more. Is our next guest online yet? Not yet. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna go through one more commercial. And then we're gonna continue. This is some good stuff. Y'all single people taking notes. Sadia, you taking notes?
Good.
I'm good. All right, let's go. Let's take a quick commercial break. Wow. I tried to be secular about this book, but I can't. Something's working within me.
DJ was already an incredible person, and then he wrote a book.
I turned to God as a person that stopped believing. So you will meet me there. And if not, you will see the works that help me get there.
If you want to know how to change and learn how to change from the inside out, you read this book.
Money is a real thing. It's a part of it. But what I show in the book, and I'm telling my young people out there, I'm walking you through business. This is a real business lecture 101. It's not the green that's going to keep you sustained. It's your influence. How well do you impart influence and love in people? How do I make you rich by a conversation we've had?
It's going to help you no matter what situation, no matter what trials or tribulations you're going through. It's going to give you that ammo that you need.
Watch God grow inside of me. Watch Him show me why this went wrong to get to right. To Him to say, you know what, God? I needed the tragedy too. I needed to feel loss. I needed to feel grief. I needed to feel let down. And thank God you've got me where I'm at in my marriage, with my kids, with my family, so I can see the blessings and I can tell somebody else how all those things I went through in the past got me where I'm at today.
You can get through anything if you just keep the faith and walk through that valley and don't give up. Don't turn back. Don't look back. Just keep looking forward. And the goal is right there. You just have to keep pushing forward.
Keep your brains in your head. Keep your heart in your chest. And keep your pee-pee in your pants. And that's it.
That's great advice.
This will stay in your hearts for the rest of your life. And it will conquer the demons that lie in your mind.
Listen, I told you. I'm not going to tell you all about my life. You have to read about it. Because this is meant to help you. Yep. This is meant for entrepreneurs, people struggling. You're going to have death, trials, tribulations, struggles. But if you fall, people will walk right over you. Navigating through the valleys of success. You master the valleys. You can master bigger valleys with success. I want more problems because I'm most successful. Amazon. You can get it from your boy CJ. It's a great book. I love it. All right. Listen, hey, if you guys are watching and you guys have a business and you, again, shouts out to Denise Porter for sponsoring my for February. Thank you so much. If you guys want to sponsor, you can do Venmo, Cash App. That's CJ Functional. If you're a corporation and you want to sponsor, because we're gaining ground. And I'm loving how the YouTube is picking up. The Facebook is going out of control. IG, hit me up at CJ Functional, cj.functional@gmail.com. I will hook your business up. You got a commercial? I'm gonna put it up there. You want me to do it? We'll hook it up. I'll put together some scenes that'll make it's on. I'm gonna make your business shine. You know it. All right. So coming back, were we able to get our other guest up yet? Okay. We'll try to get him in. If they come in, just give me a thumbs up and we'll get them right in. Listen, guys, you guys are killing it on this marriage thing. Okay, so I'm gonna ask Ebony and Anatole first. Where are we at 28 and a half years? Now, I've been to a couple of your anniversary celebrations. I've been in limousines with y'all. I don't know how y'all get in the places y'all get into as quiet and loving as you guys are. What does 28 and a half years look like right now?
You want to take that one?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. We're still learning, we're still growing, we're still changing, we're still developing. As soon as we got our kids off into college, now we're grandparents. So now it's another phase of our lives. So things just keep growing and evolving and changing, and we just keep learning and just evolving and adapting.
Hey, Sadia said we have a chat comment. Sadia, can you got the chats? Tell us what's going on in the chats.
Okay, so Brian Butler says, those are nice stories, CJ.
Ooh.
But I met Sheila in the club, and he said the club in all caps. Maybe that's why we're not on the show.
Y'all done. Now, Brian and Sheila
on the show. People met in the club can't get on the show.
You can chat. You can chat back. You guys are definitely on my part two. Because you guys have been married over 40 years. All right. So trust and believe. That's another show. You guys. I love you guys. And yes, you met at the club. You was up in the club. And Brian, I know you old player.
My parents met in the club, and they've been married 47 years.
Keeping you in check. Don't you get in no trouble, as Sheila would say. Don't give her no trouble. Did I clear the air? I got you guys. Trust me on this one. Trust me. I love you guys. Anybody else mad on this chat? No. So, you know what? Brian and Sheila, if you want to call in, because I love you guys. Can you put that number back on the screen? 323-815-4204. Because I'd love, that's it. 323-815-4204. I'd love to hear you guys' story of 40 plus years of marriage. I love you guys. And while we're waiting, because I'm waiting, won't you come? Now, 11 years.
Yeah.
Now, we've talked about 28 years. We talked about where we're at. What does it look like? What does the horizon look like for you guys?
Okay.
Because you guys ain't splitting up. Y'all ain't good. Matter of fact, if y'all do split up, I'm going to karate chop both of y'all.
No. Not at all. So, but I have to say this. So, my relationship with God, so it just didn't stem there. So after I had my second kid, and there was a lot of trauma as far as different transitions in my life, it's like, honestly, my heart started straying from God, and I wasn't really into my scriptures as much. And it's like, it slowly just started straying from him. And it's like, my heart was just hurting, and I wasn't the ambitious person that I was. And because of that, yes, we're married and that's my husband. But I'll be honest, like a couple months ago, not too long ago, like I got into an emotional relationship. you know, and it was a reflection of my heart straying from my maker, my
Wow.
God, because anything can happen. And I know why people, even in a marriage, they'll start getting attention from other men. This man was in prison. It was my homie from back in the days. I dated his friend. I asked you advice on it before.
We
You're like,
talked
girl,
about
stop
that.
talking to that man. But I'm like, no, but you know, God
thumbs
is
up?
using me.
No,
You
no.
know, he's using me in this relationship.
I love
You know,
our friend.
and
I love our
honest with
spiritual
my
friendship.
husband,
I love
you know,
it.
and I was like, man,
Yes.
I'm feeling like I'm getting feelings for this dude.
Yes.
You know, and eventually, you know, things transpired in my heart, and it took to the point he had to say, you know what, I'm not even feeling you talking to this dude like
Oh,
that.
hey, wait a minute. We got a phone
Oh,
call. I got to get
okay.
this because this might be the people that's mad with
Let's
me.
go. Uh-oh.
All right. Who we got? I'm shaking right now. Is this who we got?
This is ACJ. This is Brian and Sheila.
Brian and Sheila. You know I love you guys. I was going to do a whole show on you guys. Listen, wait. First of all, tell us how long you've been married. Praise God. We're touching people. My God.
Hi, CJ. This is Sheila. It'll be 40 years on August 15th, 2021.
Amazing.
Now, Sheila, I have a hard time believing that he met you up in the club.
Oh no.
No,
That's what it was.
we were at a club. Yep, and we met, and
It's been on ever since.
it's been on ever since.
I love how you keep Brian in check. I guess all of our women keep us in check. Man, I had Brian with a little six pack, you know, and you looked at him and said, "I don't want no trouble, CJ. I don't want no trouble."
That's right. and that was at year 35, 30ish. I don't want no trouble.
But you know,
my motto.
but it got you in there, right? You got yourself all hot, and I bet Brian was like, "I don't want no trouble either," right?
And she still don't want no trouble.
Man, I just want to tell you, I brought y'all on because I want to tell you how much I love you and how much you guys have been a model to us. I think at your anniversary celebration, I actually went to tears when I started speaking on that relationship. He was like, "You crying, motherfucker," but I actually went to tears as to how much I love you. Thank you for coming on the chat, and thank you for calling. I got you guys. Trust me, I got you guys. All right, you guys are blessing people right now. 40 years.
Thank you.
Man, you guys can
And
do
your
it.
Your guests are awesome, and just a lot of love to your couples, because marriage is definitely, you got to work at it every single day.
Man. Well, God bless you guys. Brian and Sheila,
Thank you,
you know I love you.
love
Thank you
you.
for calling. Spread the word. Mentorship Moments. We the hottest show in the name of Jesus. I'm telling you right now.
We'll do. All right.
Thank you. You know what I like about this show, guys? I like this show because it's real people mentoring real people. You know, I mean, hey, celebrities, I love y'all. Y'all cool. I respect it. Y'all people too. But man, and when I get y'all, that's good. Y'all coming, you know, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna relieve y'all of them other shows. Y'all can come and be real up in here, you know. And I wanted to help people, and I want people to grow. It's about the overall wellness. Yeah, get your muscles in shape, right? To stay intact for each other, to stay loving to each other, to protect each other, to be spiritually right. Because that's what I found at my near 50 age, you know, that I don't look at it. God has blessed me. That I continue to be the protector for my family. You know, marriage is good, but like one little lady told me at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Me and my brother used to go down there. And I'll tell you a quick story, and then we got to close. We go into Roscoe's. They let me and my brother in the gym because we had the best hair at the time, you know, the twins. And they sat us with my cousin Milton on a table with a bunch of finance women. I ain't gonna lie. I keeps it real. It was fun. And one lady, she just looked down, and I said, why are you so sad, baby girl? Why are you so sad? You know? She goes, you know, I'm not sad. You know, I'm just pondering, you know. I love my husband, you know? And I'm like, wow. I choose. She said right there, I choose to love my husband. And we have got to start making decisions like that. It's not easy, right, guys?
It's a choice. It's not easy.
But it's a choice that allows you to sleep at night. There are couples that have messed up. Yes. I know couples that have messed up, and they're doing better than most couples that never messed up.
That's
you know,
right,
that's God's love. When you let God take over, it's a beautiful thing, guys. Guys, I want to thank you for coming on to the show. You know, you're coming back because I want to talk about that because yes, and I got Diana Red. You know, Diana, we're going to talk. I got to have this conversation. You spoke on some stuff that was real. You know, Anatole and Ebony, thank you. You guys are friends for life. You know, it's funny. They see me as a live wire on TV, but when they see me, you know, at their house, I'm like, because I'm just so dang tired. You know, but I want to tell you that I love you too. You know, shouts out to, you know, my brother Dion and Tasha Joseph, incredible marriage themselves. You know, marriage is a good thing, guys. It's biblical. Contract with somebody. Don't, like Sadia said, Sadia, don't change your values, right?
Exactly. Don't settle. Just like Ebony said, do not settle.
Yep. And
Your time will come, your person will come. You just have to trust and believe. And the power of prayer, as we see in these couples, is real.
Hallelujah.
And you know what's funny? I never ask God to show up where I'm at.
Wow.
He shows up.
Bingo.
He showed up on the Fox News when I was out there. He shows up. He can't help it. I don't have to say God, because God exudes from me. Or I can bring vocal piece. I love this. I love you guys. Guys, this is Mentorship Moments. I'm about to catch the Holy Ghost, and I haven't done that in years. Each one teach one. We are the village. Next up, we have a show called Starting from the Bottom. Now we're here. You got to meet Diana Red, how God is working in her life. Each one teach one. I love you guys. Sponsors, let's go.
Let's go.
It happened.